The smallest little wren bird making the loudest noise, folks. Beautiful little bird. I just wanted to share the sights, mainly the sounds of the chorus this morning, folks. Nothing else. For me now, nothing else matters now. Trying to safeguard the blueprint and the beauty. It's becoming an impossibility, folks, with the peoples of today, but keeping records, making an attempt to at least recognise that the beauty's still here. The blueprint to it all will never be taken away from the creator of this, or creators, folks. It's just after 5 AM. We've got a wood pigeon in the background, blackbirds. Look at all these weeds, folks. They don't struggle. They don't struggle. You cut them down and 3 weeks later they're higher than they've ever been, folks. Just a few weeks ago, I think it's 3-4 weeks ago, I showed you all that garlic mustard that was growing quite tall here. That's just about disappeared. It's still here, some of it. You can see it here. Those of you that recognise these leaves here, you can eat these leaves, folks, as I've shown you. But now giving over to these other things that are rising up, the nettles, that again you can eat now and they're nutritious. But, left unchecked and left alone, everything thrives. There's no war of the species, the grasses and the weeds, the flowers, the trees, the shrubbery. You know, they all get along like termites. Billions, trillions of termites. Yep, in their mounds. Bees, wasps, hornets. They all get along. They don't try and fucking depopulate each other. There's no battle to survive. And the easy trick for all this lot is to just get on with it. It's to just stay connected to Mother Earth, to Source, which it all fucking is, folks, and we are not. We're not walking barefoot through the fields like we should be. We're all kept on these synthetic roads, these tarmacs, wearing the rubber-soled shoes instead of the leather, or like I said, walking barefoot. I had a couple of nice pheasants here. As soon as the dog sees them, he's going to give chase, probably. But the camera's a bit blurry this morning, I don't know why. No, it won't clear. But yeah, there are copious amounts of everything. Now, before the pheasant hunts take place in the next few months, there are pheasants everywhere through these fields, folks. And they don't struggle to survive. You leave them alone, they just get on with it. These two, they don't struggle to survive. They wouldn't. I'm sure they'd survive like cats do. Killing things, hunting, gathering. You know, the only things that wouldn't survive are us, because we've not been fucking trained to, folks. We haven't. But nature, everything else apart from us, yeah, we're the helpless ones. This lot needs no help. Yet we're convinced now that we've got to help Mother Nature to survive. We've got to depopulate ourselves, etc. We've got to poison the soils with the glyphosate and introduce seeds that will only grow in the glyphosate soils and only grow once. No such thing as heirloom. You know, crazy. But you're looking at the blueprints and the beauty. Yeah, I'm not showing you any beast today, folks. I'm not in the mood for it. I am weary of it. I'm weary of hearing the word fucking geoengineering, stratospheric aerosol injection, solar shield, solar radiation management. From being 5-year-old, folks, I realised that education was a con. I realised it was fucking fake. And from that moment, from being 5-year-old to 64 now, folks, I became a problem child. And then I'm still now classed by most of the people that know me, apart from my kids, probably my kids, I don't know. But apart from Debbie, I'm classed as a problem 64-year-old. Problem pensioner, if you like. And I suppose that after all these years now, I've worked out, yes, I am a problem. But I'm not a problem to myself. I'm a problem to those people who view me as a problem. I am their problem. And since 2011, I woke up. 2012, I started recording things and trying to share things and wake people up. And what I've realised, folks, is that I'm not the problem. The people of today are the problem. They have the problem. And we have the solution. But we don't have the solution for the problems today, yeah? We have the solution for those yet to be born, folks. But since 2012, I have tried. And I've just realised now, folks, that it's a complete and utter waste of time. All the marching, all the protesting. You know, as good as it is, as massive as the numbers have been at some of these rallies, particularly in London here, that the mainstream media refuse to report on, you know, nothing's getting done because the psychopaths who are in control of the lunatics that have been allowed to create this asylum we're in are the corporations, folks, the huge corporations that are even beyond banks. You know, there are factions out there of peoples, the minorities, yeah. Goodness knows where they are or who they are. But they're the ones running this fucking system, folks. And they're outside that system. They don't use the monetary system. They don't. Yeah, they're not being tracked. They're not being traced like we are. We'd fucking know who they are. Yeah, so they turn it on us. They track and trace us to make sure that we never, ever get to fucking find out who they are and what they have done from time immemorial, folks. Anyway, something to fucking mull over, something to think about. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it's just something to enjoy. For those of you that don't have this view every day over my garden fence, I have this. We can walk, well, we can't walk miles anymore. These two are too old. They're happy to just dawdle for half a mile and half a mile back. But I still enjoy the miles of walks, folks. And sometimes the dead lanes, like, that go on for 6-7 miles, and the odd tractor, and peace and quiet for most of the day, folks, if you decide to walk them. Anyway, I'm waffling now. But just have a think about your lives and where they're going, where they're headed, folks. Think about the things that are important to you. And to be honest with you, the only things that are important should be you yourself, your morals, your standards, and your family, your closest family, folks. And forget community. community doesn't work. We come here to be part of this little community, to get away from what was going on in the towns and cities, folks. But, you know, even the people that did the same thing here come to get away from this, that and the other thing that was going on, from the Wi-Fi and all the migration and everything. Yeah, they've succumbed. Every single person apart from me and Debbie in this village we live in. And the wider village, yeah, folks. There's only 2 people in hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people now around here, from Montgomery to Welshpool, etc. Yeah, the little villages and offshoots. There's only myself, Debbie, and 2 other people we know that are wide of eye to everything, and I've had none of those fucking injections, folks. We are the odd ones out. Yeah. Treated as the odd one out. Treated as a problem. And, like I say, that problem becomes clear. I am someone else's problem. I'm not my own problem. I'm a problem for them. I'm a spanner in the works. The works that are coming to their conclusion, folks. Kid you not. Sun's due up over there at some point. I'm going to get back now. It's cool. It's been ridiculously hot for these 2, and they've struggled with the heat, haven't you, lad? But there's this lovely, cool, mild air this morning. I wouldn't say a breeze because you can see nothing stirring, but there's a coolness coming off of the flora and fauna here. And some of the grasses the dogs walk through, there's a lot of moisture on it, so it keeps them cool. And that's it, folks. Let's not backstab each other. Let's not backbite. You know, we have a job to do. Look how beautiful this is, folks. Even this parasite that wrapped itself firmly around this big old gnarly tree, folks. There's beauty even in that, even in its death. There's beauty in them, the skeletal remains of what is and what isn't. Right, come on. Let's go and sort you some chicken out, lad. Got a pile of chicken Debbie's cooked you up. And some omelette, of course. I kid you not, folks, I kid you not.